Margaret Kuhlman of Soul Astrology. This new moon chart is so full of Cancer, it has to be an emotional month. Mercury, our thinking, our conscious communication, conjunct Mars, the solar plexus in the body, and Cancer itself is the area of the stomach. So it's as though we will be speaking from whatever emotions are there, be they ancient childhood traumas or the desire to love and care for our family and any friend or group of people who become like family to us. The beauty of this situation is that we will find it quite difficult not to be honest. Whether we like it or not, our true emotions are going to be expressed. And what's good about that is that it clears away any junk that has been harboured in that area. And the solar plexus is where we are most sensitive to the emotional vibration, the energy surrounding other people's emotions. And the clearer we are ourselves, the more accurate our intuitions at that point. We will also, with the Mercury against the Mars, be aware of what we're picking up. So it becomes very important to know what's ours as opposed to what's someone else's. With Neptune trining the Mercury-Mars, our attempt at clarity will be much supported. It's definitely a month for working on our psychic, spiritual growth and understanding. The Sun and Moon are connecting most strongly with Chiron. So perhaps all this work on the solar plexus and clarity of emotional expression is so that we can tune in more accurately on the needs of humanity generally, so that we can apply ourselves within those situations that have most need. One of the difficulties of charging in to help is that we often forget to feel what the needs actually are and deal only with what we feel we would have needed in that situation. So a clear, intuitive grasp and empathy for the true needs of others is necessary. In my new moon letter that I email out, I found myself focusing on ranting as a particularly useless form of approaching problems. It tends to be a judgment that things simply should not be the way they actually are, and the judgment expressed creates resentment and anger in ourselves, but also in other people who are listening. It kind of winds the whole thing up. And yet behind ranting, there's very often a true distress or pain about what it is that's being focused on, especially if it is some disturbed area of the world. What might help is the actual expression of that distress, because then at least the inner space can be helped. The connection from the Sun-Moon to Saturn completes the triangle. And with Saturn retrograde, it looks as if we're going back over old emotional situations and endeavouring to get them sorted. With the square from Jupiter and Venus to the Saturn, there is a suggestion there that it might be difficult to hold our optimism, to continue to feel that things can be improved. And this is where those who rant can be so destructive. Because at times when we don't know what the solution is, it's much easier to give up. And yet, with both Venus and Jupiter being expansive, beneficent forces, and connecting to Uranus, which is about freedom, that square to Saturn could be holding our focus on the difficult situations that do have to be changed. The sense that people should be free to express their individuality as a natural part of this Aquarian age growth that we are moving into. With Neptune supporting the Mercury-Mars expression, My feeling is that any caring, developmental movement will attract spiritual support. I think it does anyway, in any situation. But this month there is a focus on that support. And it doesn't matter whether we begin with taking responsibility for our own emotional space and working on ourselves, or whether we start with going out into the world and helping somebody else. Either way, the other will be balanced by the spiritual support. Very quickly after this new moon, just 2 days, Venus moves into Virgo, very slowly, stops, turns round, and by the full moon moves back into Leo. So for that period of time, we are beginning to work on the more practically helpful ways in which we can relate. From the full moon, as it goes back into Leo again, joining with Jupiter, we get more of that square to the Saturn, where the struggle between the difficult circumstances and maintaining a positive attitude shows up. But we find the full moon in Aquarius, concerned with humanity and the principles through which humanity is able to evolve. And the position of the Sun is quincunx to Neptune, calling forward the help of the spirit, holding a very positive and healing attitude. Mars in this chart trines Saturn and Chiron, suggesting a smoother, more governed emotional expression, the effective use of emotional energy for helping others. A lovely thing about Cancer, and this new moon in Cancer particularly perhaps, is the nurturing aspect of it. It's about being close, emotionally warm, feeding ourselves, sharing meals. It's about cooking, loving each other through the food we serve. And with the Leo in both the new and full moon charts, there's a lovely suggestion to invite your friends round, share food, be connected, recognize the family of your own community. With the Aquarianness of that full moon, there is no need to feel pressure when in a community. A true Aquarian community allows for individuals to take their own space, to step away when they've received enough, and still be welcomed back when the desire arises. We are always in community, whether we are together or not. So Cancer perhaps is a matter of recognizing that we are connected, that it is all truly family. Whether we like each other or not need not separate us. So stay strong for yourself. Take care of your inner child. Accept things as they are. And work towards clarifying the intuitive centers in the body. Hold your dear heart open in the face of apparent attack. No one can truly hurt you if you don't attack yourself. When the barb hits and your heart feels the pain, hold your heart open and your tears will heal. There's no competition, no winner or loser, only people struggling to be happy. Love them all, no matter what. And you enable love itself to walk among the suffering, healing and repairing all broken hearts.